Coach, DJ Harding, Chicago State of Mind Sports. Your team came out in the third quarter with a different mentality and took the lead. So I just wanted to ask you, what was your message to the team at the half?
We'll leave that in the locker room.
Okay.
We'll leave that message in the locker room, but they came out and met the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for us to follow the game plan for 40 minutes, and when we do, we were pretty successful.
And then I wanted to ask you again, quick follow-up. There were numerous successful actions between Lindsay and Camilla. I just wanted to get your assessment on the developing connection between them two.
It's a lot of work that's been put in practice. A lot of work, and they're following through with all the things that we're trying to implement. They're looking really, really good at it, coming off the screens, finding the rolls, finding the bigs, caging guards, and then finding the bigs still. But they're just making sure that everybody gets a touch. And our bigs are definitely getting touches. And when our bigs get touches, it really makes us successful. And then it opens up things for our guards on the perimeter.
Any more questions?
Coach, I was wondering, what do you think you were doing or were we not executing in the first half that made you fall behind at halftime?
And defensively. Everything was defensively. When you're putting them at the free throw line, fouling, putting them at the free throw line, that's kind of tough for us, defending without, we want to defend without fouling. And we had some defensive miscues and letting people be wide open. And that's definitely not who we are defensively. We're aggressive, and we weren't that in the second half, in the first half. So kind of behind. The second half started in the third quarter, which is a very, very important quarter. Very important for us to start off well. And we did. We hit first, and we kept hitting, and we kept hitting. And unfortunately, at the end, things turned in their favor.
Back.
Coach, often in the loss, many coaches don't like to talk about moral victories, but there seem to be a lot of positive building blocks for your team moving forward. As a coach, if you can pull out some positive building blocks from your team moving forward, what would they be?
There's definitely a lot of positives. No matter what, you always can find positives with. Of course, I'm not one to talk about moral victories, if you're correct. That's not what we're in here for. We're not in here for that. But when you look at how we started that third quarter off and how aggressive we were, the level of intensity we played with, the enthusiasm we played with, the togetherness we played with, and everybody was just on the same page. And when we see that, we know we got something very special. So we take all of those things that we did in that third quarter all the way to the end of the game, and we can build off of those things.
Back to the front.
If you want to add on to that, Coach, I don't know, just kind of a similar question. It just seemed like in the second half, you would have thought you guys were trying to keep them from getting the lead. And you would have thought Angel Reese had 20 points the way she was playing on the court, even though she had no points for the first half. If you could just speak about the character, the team was they had no way. Most teams I've seen players, they'll continue to play hard, but they kind of check out. With this team, it was no checking out. It wasn't we just don't play hard. It was we are coming to win this game in the second half. If you could just speak about the character of the team, because you have a vet, but you also have young players too. They could have easily checked out and chose not to.
Yeah, we don't own a towel to throw in. We don't own that on this team. We don't give up no matter what it looks like. We always believe that we're in it, we can win it. And that's why we come to any gym to go play to win. We go to win. Everyone speaks about that we're young and we're growing. Yes, we're young and we're growing, but we're competitors. Those young women are incredible competitors, and they want to win. So they came out with an incredible amount of grit in that second half to go win a game. That I can be proud of. I can be super proud of them coming out in that second half. But we came to win. We came to win. So we walk away. Of course, you're not the happiest. You're not the happiest because you want a W. But we will take the film. We will learn from all those things that we need to be even better at. And you'll say this all season long, but that's what you have to do. You got to go right back to the drawing board. You got to pull out those things that you didn't do so well, and then show how well you did do them and how successful you can be.
We'll go to Carly Bell on Zoom. Please unmute.
Hey, Coach. How would you assess Camilla Cardoso's growth in the second half of the season? We've just seen her take more shots outside of just that restricted area around the rim. We've also seen her defensive game just grow. How would you assess what you've seen out of her in the second half of the season?
She's just more comfortable. That's what happens when you continue to play the game. She's more comfortable. I've said this again. She's meeting the challenge. I've challenged her. She's meeting the challenge. She's not afraid to shoot the ball, and I don't want her to be. We're not boxed athletes over here. We're athletes who want to be, comfortable, and she's very comfortable right now. She's sure of herself, and There's a lot of confidence that we tried to just pour into her as a staff, as well as her teammates. She's only just feeling much better about herself and where she is. She helped this team be successful, and it's great to see. It's awesome to see.
Any more
And
from
then
Coach?
just to follow up, turnovers were also a problem today. 16 turnovers. We haven't seen that high of a number since prior to the All-Star break. I know probably film will show the answer to this, but just your first assessments on what kind of led to more turnovers than what we've seen out of your team in the last 3 to 4 games.
Lack of execution. Lack of execution. When that ball moves and you move it as a unit, ball movement, player movement, that's what it means. You can't move it as a single player. It has to move as a team. And we were not finding the open players and having to turn it over and kind of fell into their aggression a little bit instead of just taking care of the ball and finding the open person. So we turned it over numerous times, and when you take a look at how many points they scored off of those turnovers, there's the game. Take a look at the free throws, how many free throws they took and how many they made, there's the game.
Any more?